Now, a meditation on the simple pleasures of living. Jeffrey Brown has this latest addition to the NewsHour bookshelf.
It was an unusual international literary phenomenon, the 6-volume, 3,600-page series titled My Struggle, and an unusual form, dubbed an autobiographical novel. In it, Norwegian author Karl Ove Knausgaard wrote in great and intimate detail of his life. Now comes a new book titled Autumn, written as a letter to his unborn daughter, with short essays describing the world she'll be born into. Karl Ove Knausgaard joins me now, and welcome to you.
Thank you.
So after this enormous undertaking of the 6 volumes, you write a more quiet book, Letters and Thoughts to Your Daughter. Were you trying to narrow things down?
Very much so. I mean, my struggle is very much about my interior life and about psychology and relations and inner turmoil. And I just lifted my gaze and wrote about the opposite, which is what's outside of me and what's in the world. And at the same time, we expected a child. Mm-hmm. And I just wanted, to write about the simple things, the simple pleasures of life and the world to her.
What did you want to tell her? I mean, you say, I want to show you the world as it is now.
Yeah.
What did that mean to you? It's not the big stuff.
No. It's very much the small stuff. Yeah. It is many of the insignificant things I'm writing about. For instance, toothbrush or toilet bowl or glass of water, but also the sun and the moon. And it is kind of, I wanted to feeling, to see the complexity of the world and that everything is somehow valuable. I mean, this is maybe a bit naive, but that's what I want to present to her.
That there's value in the banal or the everyday.
Yes, and the thing is that when you grow up, it's like you lose sight of the world, It's kind of an automatic, how everything works, and you stop seeing it, And I think I kind of wanted to transform myself into a child almost and try to see the world as it once were, new and open and fresh.
Well, that's what comes through. I mean, you're a writer wanting to see the world, right?
Yeah.
This is your daily exercise, I would think, anyway.
Yeah, it's true. It is just like it becomes even more visible when I don't write about people, but about things in itself. But I also wanted, somehow, these are 4 books, so this is the first, and it goes through the seasons. And I also wanted to establish some kind of trust in the world, to her. And that's a very important part of it. Yeah. There were some dramatic, things that happened. And I wanted to ensure her that is also part of life. The darkness and the dark thing also is a part of life, and try to lay everything open, so to speak. In My Struggle, everything, as you said, was so introspective. And you have said that you wrote this because you were tired of introspection. You wanted to get away from yourself in some way? Yeah. Exactly what I wanted. And it is also interesting because if you follow a path, so in My Struggle it is my father and my father's death and my relationship to him. Yeah. If you follow that, it makes it possible to say this about the world. But at the same time, something else exists, the world and the beauty in the world is kind of a parallel existence to that. Mm-hmm. And through this form, I could talk about that instead. And that is the magic of literature and of literature form, that things appears in them that you don't think of before you start to write. But if you do it this way, then things in the world start to appear in front of you, and I think that's why I write, because I love that experience.
And these were written as sort of every day a different essay, right? Rubber boots, birds of prey, loneliness, feelings, short essays. It feels a little random, but I'm wondering if it was random. Did you wake up thinking, knowing what you were going to write about, or was there a theme, a pattern?
It is very randomly. I love the concept of encyclopedia, where the whole world exists in writing. Yeah. But I wanted kind of a personal encyclopedia, and it is randomly. It's like every morning I had like 400 words on my screen, And I scrolled through it, and I spent maybe an hour before I could pick, and then I picked one.
I mean, really? That's how you did it?
Yeah, yeah. And then I knew I have to write this word, there's no escape. So that's why it took so long to pick the word. And then I wrote the word for maybe 2 hours or so, and that was the day of writing. So.
Huh.
And it is also a matter of composition, you know. I kept everything I wrote, so all the bad stuff is in there too. But the thing is, if you compose, if you just have one piece or two pieces, it's okay. And then you maybe have a third piece that changed, you know. So there is a kind of a intuitive composition, like if you imagine an art gallery, you know, and you have lots of paintings side by side, and they can change the impacts of the one, change the other. But it's all intuition, it is all about emotions and you know, not rational stuff at all.
But that was all about you being, I mean, that's also part of what you're trying to do as a writer.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
When I sat, you know, in front of something and wanted to write about it, for instance, toothbrush, there is really nothing to say about it, you know. What
I think we all have that experience every morning.
Yeah,
right.
But then you start to write and something happens, and it's like the things are just opening up, and you see it is loaded with meaning. It's so charged, everything. And you can't think out that. I mean, you can't calculate that. You have to, you know, lose every thought you have about the world and just try to write, and then it appears something. And that something has to surprise me, if not, I'm not interested, you know.
All right, the book is Autumn, Karl Ove Knausgaard. Thank you very much.
Thank you.